Coaches Book Club's Expert Interaction Series. Today we have with us a special guest. We are so thrilled and grateful to Shereen Abraham, who has come all the way from Abu Dhabi. Thank you, Shereen, for taking your time and being with us. Shereen is a wellness coach, artist and a poetess.
Thank you, Tessy, for the invitation. I'm very pleased to meet all of you and very excited to be a part of this gathering today.
Yeah, lovely. So let's give you all a brief introduction about Shereen. Shereen has done many things. She wears many hats. She's a certified clinical hypnotherapist, an NLP practitioner, an emotional intelligence thinker, a happiness and mindfulness coach, energy healer, poetess, artist, and writer. She was born and raised in India, and she has worked in the UAE's corporate sector for many years. 10 years ago, she went on a personal development journey and upskilled herself by learning many healing modalities. She's also a very creative person and now works as a coach who heals and helps other people to realize their full potential. She's an accomplished artist, a widely published writer and poetess. So we are so thrilled that you are here, and we can't wait to hear from you, Shereen.
Thank you, Tessy. Thank you for that very nice introduction. I'm really pleased to share what I have, my thoughts, and with all of you.
I want to begin by asking you, Shereen. So, what was that big inspiration that led to the transformation from the corporate life to a wellness sector?
Okay, when working in the corporate life, I was in marketing, and I've always had a leaning towards being in wellness. But I never had the time to get myself trained and certified when I was at work in the corporate world. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, and I took a break from the corporate world. So after she was born, I gave up life in the corporate world because I wanted to raise her without the help of a nanny, because it was important for me that she grows up to be a nice human being before being a star student. And 5 years after she was born, and that was in 2013, I got into the well-being space. So I got myself trained in many modalities. Mm-hmm. And now I have a bouquet of modalities that I use. I pick and choose. I call it a bouquet because when clients come to me, I can pick and choose from the bouquet and do what I can to help them.
Sure, lovely. So how did you learn so many of these modalities? You've done such a string of things.
Yes, it started the journey in 2013, and it's just my interest. So it's like one thing led to another. When I started one, I got to know of another modality, and then on and on. And it's always, I'm still learning. I'm still learning different things. I'm also into energy healing because these things make me feel very fulfilled when I work with people. So I continue to learn, and I continue to learn from others, from other coaches. I read a lot, and so I know of the new modalities that are coming.
Mm-hmm. What about, so tell us a little bit about what are the things that you've done. I know that you've done many things, just a few of the courses if we get to know.
Of the courses. Okay, so I started it with neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. Then I did life coaching and emotional intelligence, cognitive behavioral therapy, happiness and mindfulness coaching, theta healing, pranic healing, and the list just goes on. So there are small things that I have done in between, which enhances my earlier certifications.
Wow, great.
And clinical hypnotherapy is the one. If I may share this with you, when I tell people who meet me generally socially, and I'm speaking, I said, so what do you do? And I tell them what I do. And so what have you done? Like you asked me. And when I mention the word clinical hypnotherapy, suddenly they become very wary of me. So it's like, oh, so I should be careful speaking to you because you'll get to know all my secrets. I said, I'm not interested, first of all, to know your secrets. And that's not what hypnotherapy is all about. People have a misconception about hypnotherapy. So it's not that I want to know about it. I mean, we all have our own issues and troubles. So I don't need the burden of knowing somebody else's unless they're coming to me for therapy.
Yeah. So that was actually something that I would also like to know, that hypnotherapy, the word itself, you think that you've been put to sleep and you lose control. So what exactly happens in a hypnotherapy session, and what are its benefits, and what all can it heal?
Okay, hypnotherapy itself, it's in the word, it's hypnosis with therapy. So the intention of doing hypnotherapy is to go and work with one's subconscious. which is not always at the fore, but it's the subconscious mind that helps us in our lives. So I use only words, nothing else. It's just my voice, the words. We call it an induction, and we induce people into hypnosis, and then get into their subconscious mind. And it is never done without their consent. Never ever. It's a false thing. They are always aware, even though they are in a hypnotized state. They are aware of what they are saying and doing, and you can never do it if they don't agree. It never works. So therapeutically, it can be for many. The range is from from self-esteem issues, from aggression issues, anger issues, inner child problems, to smoking and addictions, and the range is vast.
Okay. What exactly happens in a session? How long does it last? Give us a little bit of a...
Okay, from my experience, it is make the person feel comfortable. If somebody comes to me, I make the person feel comfortable, and then I tell him or her what the session would be, and they come to me with a problem. So, and then I hypnotize them using words. So we have inductions that we do. So you just close your eyes and you're in a relaxed state, usually on a recliner. That's what I use, and they go into that deep state where then they start to respond to what I say, and then we clear therapeutically the issues. So it is more of suggestion. So if somebody comes to me with, say, self-esteem, so we as hypnotherapists are able to access what is the first root cause that resulted in a self-esteem issue. So and that's what happens, and then they clear all of that, and then we bring them out of the state, and then they feel like they have I know you didn't ask me, but I'd like to share. When they come out, they feel like, oh, I feel refreshed, I feel well rested. Then because it would only be like about 45 minutes, but it feels like they have slept for a couple of hours. They feel that. Yeah.
Interesting. I always see you smiling and happy. So we want to know, what do you do for your mental well-being?
Okay, I do a lot. All of what I've learned, I practice on myself. So first of all, when I go through pain and issues, I choose not to wear my heart on my sleeve. Sometimes I do not succeed in that, But I have two mantras that I use. One of them is, it's by Dr. Wayne Dyer. You may have read. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So I have applied that in my life. And sometimes I fail, sometimes I'm vulnerable, but most of the time I do that because I have my own challenges and struggles like everybody else. So it is, that's the thing. And for me, there's another one that I practice. It's the journey is as important as the destination. So anything that I do, any project, any something that I have planned for like coming here, for me, I was so excited. So I was smiling all the way driving from Abu Dhabi because I'm looking forward to meeting you all and sharing what I have. So for me, that journey is as important as the destination. These two things I've always lived by.
And what do you think women can do to be more content, more happy? Is there a daily practice that you suggest?
Gratitude is one of the things. I do not write it, but it is recommended that you write down 3 things only. And it can be simple as, I woke up feeling fresh. You're grateful. Gratitude. 3 things, because when you develop that gratefulness in your heart, you start to look at the world better. You start to experience things better. So if I have to, and also if you change the way you look at things, what I mentioned earlier, the things you look at change. So gratefulness, to inculcate a habit in ourselves, we only need to do it consistently for 21 days. and then it becomes a habit. It's just 21 days. So it can be simple things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be huge things. It's just small things that you feel good. And you know, and 3 things in the morning. Just think to yourself. If you want to, you could write. I don't, but I just think to myself. And especially for women, because we are the center of our families, the center of everything that happens around us, right? If we are not happy, then the people around us will pick up on that.
Yeah.
Our families will pick up on that. So to keep our cup full, we can practice this gratitude. So when we, this thing, you can never drink from an empty cup. So if your cup is empty and people keep taking, then you will deplete and not be so good a version of yourself. Yeah.
And of course, like we all just heard, that you do so many things: hypnotherapy, healings. You're a mother, you're a poetess, you're a writer. How do you balance all these roles and do they interplay in your life?
Yes, the art and the therapy interplay, because I'm an abstract artist and I paint from the heart. So I have a story. Every piece that I do create has a story, and it feels really good when someone else at an exhibition understands the same story that I did. I don't necessarily communicate it, but somebody understands.
Yeah.
So with my family, my daughter, as a mother, I try to, there are things that I have learned when I was studying all of this. So I try and practice all of that as well. Yeah. And of course in my poetry, the deepest feelings.
Beautiful. You know that we are a book club. So
Yes.
what are your recommendations that we should all read? Your recommendations, any motivational self-help books?
For me, the nice ones, it's old. The Chicken Soup for the Soul series. It's like, because people who have been through something and come, and there are like chicken soup for the woman, chicken soup for the elderly person, for the teenager, for the soul. That entire series, because they are true stories and they are inspirational for me. I like that. And then Ikigai, of course.
We are reading it currently.
and there's another book from the Ikigai kind of thing called Wabi Sabi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that. And the last one is one by that I already gave 3, but I want to give one more.
Sure.
Paulo Coelho.
Okay.
11 minutes.
Oh, I read that too.
Yeah. There is a lot of things that one can understand. How that Maria, her name is Maria. So what she makes out of a situation. So those kind of, when people go through, like when I listen to podcasts by Oprah, what she has been through and where she is, those are true inspirational stories for me. And that's why I find the Chicken Soup for the Soul series very, very interesting, because they have picked up random people from around the world and they have shared their stories.
So all of us are gearing up to bring and maybe introduce those books in our reading club in the future.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Shereen.
Thank you.
We're so honored that you took a time and came all the way. And
It's a pleasure. It's like, really, I was smiling all the way. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.